What's up, y'all? Just so happens that today's stream is going to be all about legality. It's all about court related stuff. So we got just that fast. Drake's lawyer responded to UMG. We read through the 32 pages yesterday. That was wild. They included stuff about the allegations about Drake and minors. They went over his lyrics. They broke down timelines. They used his own quotes against him. That thing just read so horrible if you're in Drake's shoes. But yeah, Drake's lawyer responded. We're gonna get to that. Also got some news related to Devin Haney versus Ryan Garcia and their fight and their lawsuit. Also, that's for my sports fans. But we're staying legal. We're staying legal. And I got one more. I want to talk about Kanye West and Diddy, right? Their phone call, which is all over the internet now. And I want to talk about some legalities related to that. But let's jump into this response just that fast from Drake's lawyer. Then again, what did we really expect, right? All right, what do we got? Drake says UMG's motion to dismiss his defamation lawsuit is nothing more than a desperate ploy to avoid accountability. Interesting. How do y'all feel about that? This all came out yesterday. Things between Drake and UMG are heating up. Today, March 17th, this was yesterday, UMG clapped back at the Gimme a Hug rapper's defamation lawsuit with the filing of his own, a dismissal motion. In court documents asking for Drake's case against them to be tossed out, the label accused Drake of misusing the justice system because he's upset that his rap battle with Kendrick Lamar didn't pan out in his favor. That I hate to see. And it's looking to the public that's the overall vibe of it, right? I mean, we already got past this point. Even when we read the initial defamation lawsuit and we read through Drake's paperwork, that's what we all felt already. It happens, people. It's very, very common. Be on the lookout for it. Don't give it a pass if you see it. And listen, understand it could happen to you. The courts are just the courts. It's like a police officer, right? A police officer can pull you over and write you a ticket for everything. Doesn't mean that it's a justful ticket. That's why you might take your ass to the DMV and fight the ticket. You know how many times I got pulled over by a cop and he gave me some bull. One time I got pulled over by a police officer. He gave me a ticket. I was playing my radio. Disgusting fucking ticket. I was playing my radio. I ain't gonna lie. I was younger. I had the Rockford Fosgate speakers in the back, the amplifiers, and it was kind of those days. You know what I'm saying? My shit was loud as fuck. You know what I mean? But he pulled me over and he gave me a ticket for noise pollution. Now I was already offended because I'm just like, yo, damn, you calling hip hop no? I wonder if I was playing yo shit. Would it be pollution to you? But he gave me a fucking ticket for noise pollution. So I went to DMV court and I spoke to the judge there. And I pretty much said that the radio was factory. That wasn't true. You know what I'm saying? I believe that you could lie to children and authorities. Okay. I'm joking. I'm joking. Don't use that clip and take me to court and try to use that. I'm joking. I'm joking. And women, not women. I love you. I'm joking. I'm joking. Allegedly. Clip culture is crazy. But, I told him it's like a factory radio. It's not like the police officer is taking pictures of my speakers and all that type of shit to prove. I bought the car like this. This cop just pulled me over. He didn't like my music and he wrote me noise pollution. The judge threw it out. I had a bunch of stuff that I took to the DMV and I fought. You know what I'm saying? I have other stuff that was thrown out too. It's like you hire a good lawyer and you go about it a certain way. A cop, a police officer, you can be arrested and charged with all different types of shit. You see people beat cases every day, B. But the thing is, people sometimes use the courts in an abusive manner. Damn, I got a problem with him. I want revenge on him. I don't like him. I want to slow down his progress. I want to beat him. I want to find a way to prevent his next event. All types of shit. And they'll use the courts to do it. So saying that the courts was used in an abusive manner here, people, that is not uncommon at all. Be on the lookout. That shit happens a lot. And I hope that when people misuse the court system, they pay for it. One way or another, they should pay for it. All right. In court documents, once again, asking for Drake's case against them to be tossed out. The label accused Drake of misusing the justice system because he's upset that his rap battle with Kendrick Lamar didn't pan out in his favor. Well, Drake has issued a response to UMG's claims and its newly filed motion and a statement provided to TMZ. People go to TMZ with all their shit, man. I swear. They like, all I gotta do is get a TMZ and that's gonna sprawl out. Drake's lead attorney, Mike Gottlieb, slammed UMG. UMG wants to pretend that this is about a rap battle in order to distract its shareholders. I want to hear more about the shareholders. Where does the shareholders come in to this lawsuit from an accusation standpoint? See, I see something like that. That is different. We're talking about Kendrick. We're talking about Drake. We're talking about a battle. We're talking about Drake's alleged contract negotiations. We're talking about harassment charges. Where does UMG's stakeholders come in? Okay, I guess the logic there could say, Not Like Us is such a big song that UMG makes a lot of money off of it. Hence, if UMG makes money off of it, stakeholders make money off of it. Is that where we going with this? Is that what I'm supposed to interpret there? All right, let's keep going. All right, yeah, the motion is a desperate ploy by UMG to avoid accountability, but we have every confidence that this case will proceed and continue to uncover UMG's long history of endangering, abusing, and taking advantage of its artists. When Kendrick Lamar dropped his chart-topping, now multi-platinum award-winning record, Not Like Us, hip-hop fans could not have predicted it. So that's not part of the statement. It's really this piece here. Yeah, this is really it here, people. That's the lawyer's response that he took to TMZ. Hmm. But once again, UMG wants to pretend that it's not that this is about a rap battle in order to distract his shareholders or stakeholders, same thing to me, right? Artists and public from the simple truth he wrote. A greedy company, UMG, is finally being held responsible for profiting from dangerous misinformation that has already resulted in multiple acts of violence. Wow. So clearly, Drake's attorneys they continue to insert the violence aspect there. So we know it said in the paperwork yesterday from UMG's response that harassment was criminal related, right? We saw in Drake's initial filing the shooting outside of his house that they described. And now we're talking about here. We're talking about resulted in multiple acts of violence. This is going to sprawl. The same way we talked about last night, I'd be surprised if Kendrick doesn't like, I could see that happening. I'll say 50-50 that Kendrick can be sued in this and be brought into this league from a legal standpoint. I say 50-50. But we see harassment. We saw criminal harassment in UMG's response last night when we read through the paperwork. And here we see Drake's lawyer responding saying, profiting from dangerous misinformation that has already resulted in multiple acts of violence. Multiple acts of violence. Wow. You see the title, it says, is this the end? So let me start to answer my own title there for a second. And I'm definitely going to read the comments here and see y'all opinions on this. But UMG's response yesterday and the request for dismissal, it's read so ether-like. The initial interpretation of it is just like, yo, Drake, like they're chronicling the timeline. They got all the stuff around Not Like Us to point out that you are the one that they're saying you started this with first person shooter. Kendrick responded, this is still a rap battle. It didn't go your way. You requested him to come outside on Taylor Made and you asked him to actually rap about those lyrics. You said what you said also in the Heart Part 6. It's just like the way they formulated that response, it seemed heavy. But is this the end? No. Here's the reasons why. Number one, I believe 50-50 Kendrick's going to come into this somehow legally. That's number one. I think he's going to be brought in. I shouldn't say come into. I think he's going to be brought into it at some point legally. 50-50. 50-50 chance. Number two, these civil lawsuits, they don't just come and go. You want to know when civil lawsuits end fast? They end fast usually when one party either A, can't afford to sustain the legal battle, or B, one of the parties involved know like, oh shit, they got me. So you start to look for ways out. You start to look for early settlements. you start you go and you try to say get mediation, all this type of stuff. If lawsuits or civil lawsuits, if you got both people standing their ground civilly, some of these cases take years. 1 year. To the Norbs and URL case took like 3 years, right? My case, when did it start? 2022 or whatever? Still going. Three plus years. Yeah. So that's the second reason, or the third reason why this isn't the end. And I said yesterday, and I feel even stronger about it now, reading responses from Drake's lawyer. Oh wait, let me add that real quick too. That's another factor. I wonder if all this violence or anything criminal comes in, even if it's not directly from Drake, like just even from a state picking something up. Like, I'm just curious. Like, there's something we keep dancing around these criminal allegations and shootings and resulted in violence and harassment charges. Like, are we gonna dance around that? I don't know. But last but not least, even though that UMG response read like ether, in my opinion, last night, here's a reason why it's far from over. You know what I said on that? I said, to me, all this stuff, it kind of leans the tide in UMG's direction. That's probably another reason why Drake's lawyer felt the need in 5 seconds to go run to TMZ and get a statement out or get a response out. Let's get try to turn the tide a little bit. Let's get some more public perception out there. Let's continue to fight in the court of public opinion, because that UMG paperwork that's going around, it's got us looking ugly. Okay, I got to get a statement out. That's why, right? Of course, the fight isn't in public. It comes down to jury, judges, clerks, and all that type of stuff. But they ran to TMZ in 45 minutes because they had to do some damage control, right? That's part of it, public perception. But whether the tide turns because we get an update on this side and this look, okay, Drake, I see what you did there. That you got a case. Well, oh, damn, UMG responded. Oh shit, that looks crazy. All right, it's tide is on their side now. It goes back and forth. This shit ends if UMG, to me, puts on the table 1000% proof that shows, I'm talking about like some form of documentation, licensing, the process behind the scenes of how they push and promote their content or their artists, just clear cut evidence, black and white, that shows A, we had nothing to do with a defamation attempt, and B, anything that we did for Kendrick, we would do normally. You don't even necessarily have to say that what we did for Kendrick, we did for Drake, because what if Drake is willing to take a bullet to sacrifice, one gunshot wound in an attempt to win the war, right? Meaning that, okay, like you might have did some nasty or over promotion or some backhanded Spotify or iHeartRadio stuff for me too. That's what a lot of people are saying. Like, what are you talking about? Like the same stuff that they're doing for Kendrick, they would do for you. But what if Drake is willing to say, like, yeah, but you did it times 10 for Kendrick? So you could possibly still get a win there, in legally, right? So I don't think that, just simply saying what you did for Kendrick, you might have did for me as well, right? That doesn't make you fully clear. Two wrongs don't make a right, right? So the clear cut of what we did around Not Like Us was normal process and legal process, period. No payola involved, no breaking the algorithms, no bots, no paying radio hosts to promote it, no going to ARP and asking him to put it in his car when he's driving around, even though his windows are up and nobody can hear it. I'm being sarcastic at this point because it definitely organically and naturally took off. People love the fucking song. But you get my point. No backhanded shit. That right there stops it all. It stops it all. Well, then again, I have experience. Let me say this as well. Just because evidence is provided that says, here you go, let's all go home. The other side could still be so adamant on trying to get a win out of you, or they could be so disgruntled, they could be so into the process or using the courts as a weapon, weaponizing the courts. They could be so hung up on something, or they could be seeking out something else. Like I've seen that before. I've seen cases or scenarios where you think that the plaintiff is there for one thing. You think I'm here to say it's about defamation, but what I'm really trying to do is maybe I'm the one that's trying to negotiate, right? Or maybe I'm trying to get something else in my favor. And I see plaintiffs try that bullshit as well. We'll get into yeah, okay, we have clear-cut evidence that our claims are not going to hold up. Clear cut evidence that our claims are stuck in the mud because UMG came and they said, here's the black and white contractual process, back history proof of what we do. And none of it is backhanded and none of it is illegal and none of it was out of pocket just for not like us. That's on the table. But Drake can still continue, try to pull them into settlement, right? Because we spoke about settlement before. Let's get into it again real quick. Settlements. People, settlements ain't always about money, right? A settlement could just be, let's negotiate terms of how we end this, okay? Because you might get to a point, whether you're the defendant or the plaintiff, and you might tell yourself, I ain't going to trial with this shit. I can't go to trial with this shit. I'm going to get burned in trial with this shit. I'm going to get my ass countersued to death if I go to trial with this shit because my grounds ain't sturdy at all. At all. And maybe you figure stuff like that out based on what you know. Maybe you opened it up in a frivolous standpoint to begin with. Maybe during discovery, you received information that made you retract. For example, we saw that Drake and iHeartRadio went their separate ways, right? What if iHeartRadio gave Drake and his legal team some black and white shit that says, you sure you still want to play with us here? Like, look what we got, right? But Drake, once again, legally, they have different tactics to try to get other things sometimes in settlement, and sometimes the courts are used maliciously. Okay? So you never know. Maybe Drake will still continue, even if he gets what I think is endgame stuff, to say, let's get the settlement, and then when we get there, we'll talk. And I'll tell you, hey, we won't go to trial, but just sign a new contract with me that's the same amount as my last amount, even though my stock is down, even though my album sales are dwindling, even though I'm not number one and number two on the charts anymore, even though my reputation will never be rebuilt back up to what it was. You know what? Give me my $400 million contract. We'll keep working together and we good money. That literally can come in at settlement. And UMG could say, that's what we were trying to do the whole time, just giving you 400 million. Cool, let's sign it. And then that's the end. We're gonna we walk away from, we sign and seal and dismiss everything else. And yeah, we'll work. And now when we're standing in the elevator together, walking out of the fucking Universal office, we won't say a word to each other, but we know we're in business and we're gonna make money together on some Young Thug and Gunna shit. Yeah. But I understand Drake's lawyer coming out and saying what he had to say. It's the tides going back and forth. But it is telling. All right, let's jump into this real quick. Let's keep it legal. Let's keep it legal. My best friend, Kanye West. I told y'all before, man, like I don't like to ride somebody's heels as far as like if I don't like them. I don't like that. I don't like bloggers like finding a way to oh shit, Meek Mill tweeted, I'm on his ass. I gotta burn him down. I gotta drag him down. Or like I'm not for that. But I just once again I think that Kanye West is so influential, hence it raises his ability to be so destructive that I kind of just find myself wanting to, make sure that my little small pocket of people that are close to me or follow me or support me understand how destructive he is. And then you do what you want with it. I'm not calling for the man's career to be burnt down. I'm not calling for the man to be broke. I'm not calling for any harm to come his way to him or his family. I'm just calling for his fuck shit to not be followed because I despise his principles as a man, his conduct and the way he carries himself as a man. I despise somebody that is that self-centered and he has so much influence. I just would hate for anybody to fall into his fuck shit or think that it's cool to walk around with a swastika or go put on a fucking KKK outfit and talk about, yeah, this is my outfit of the day or fucking Hitler got swag. And it's not cool. And he is a trendsetter. There's literally somebody in the fucking world that saw Kanye West with that swastika t-shirt and they wanted to. Could be one of y'all children out there. They want, mommy, I want that t-shirt. because Kanye wore it, and they would take their ass to school and get their ass fucked up behind it, or get suspended behind it, or get in trouble with the teachers behind it. It's a domino effect. I gotta explain this so people know that I'm not just some hating ass guy trying. Oh, Kanye has a beautiful house and a beautiful car. So do I. You know what I'm saying? Like, never. I'll never be motivated by shit like that ever. I'm motivated by what he does within the community and with towards our people within my culture. My culture. It's not Kanye West culture more than it is mine. He's given more impactful shit to the culture, but I was born and raised in hip hop just like he was. It's my fucking culture just as much as it. Can't nobody tell me different, because you bleed hip hop, you live hip hop, you sleep hip hop. It ain't about how much songs you made in hip hop. And I'm on the hip hop fucking timeline for a fucking contribution as well. 10 plus years of this shit. Suck dick, Kanye. Jay, that's for you. Jay always fucking tells me she loves my rants. It happens naturally because this motherfucker. I'm calm back down. Piece of shit, man. All right, what happened with Kanye? Why am I pissed off in the morning? So Kanye released some jail calls that he had with Diddy. Let's listen to him.
Real from the front line. You know what I'm saying?
Let me refresh it just in case.
You know what I'm saying? It's wicked, wicked, wicked. So you be careful.
Yeah.
We can't do nothing in day. You know what I'm saying? I need you out there. You feel me?
Yeah. I hear you. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And have some fucking fun.
Yeah.
Not having no fun, and they get behind the mic, have some fun, chop up them samples, get back on your hitman vibe.
Yeah.
Have some fun, get back to smiling.
Yeah.
These other motherfuckers, they're wasting your time, B.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand.
Wasting your motherfucking time. You know what I'm saying? So put that love in your heart, man, and enjoy yourself, man. When I get out there, man, I'm gonna see you tear down the stadiums. I need to see you back on that stage. And actually rapping and performing and everything. I be dreaming of that shit.
Yeah. Yeah, it's time. It's time for me to just grab the mic and get back on. It's like I love music again.
Tell you the real from the front line. You know what I'm saying? It's wicked, wicked, wicked. So you be careful.
Yeah.
We can't do nothing in day. You know what I'm saying? I need you out there. You feel me?
There was a time when it's just like everything was so frustrating. I can't explain it, but
jump into your bag, man. Jump into your bag. We're gonna have years and decades to fight these motherfuckers. Right now, enjoy your life. It's just coming from me, from God to you.
Right.
Enjoy your life. Fall back in love, like when you was making the beats in the shop. You're coming up to Daddy's house and motherfucking rock studio and just chop them shits up. Bring that SP 1200 out, nigga, the MPC. Nigga, and have a good time and say the world and all the bullshit. You back or something. It'd be good to hear your voice again.
Yeah.
Like 59 more days before trial, so I'll definitely be touching in to tap into your energy or something.
Yeah.
Play me some shit over the phone, give me some life.
I don't even want to play Kanye's part. You know, I mean, as you continue to go through that, eventually Kanye starts to talk to him. You know, Diddy's doing most of the talking right there. Oh, so my initial reaction when I was watching it was like, yo, is that a little cloudy? Like, Kanye? You know, like, is that for the world? Like, first topic off of that. Number one, people, jail calls are very, very sensitive. People get locked up and get their charges reinforced, or they even get convicted off of their jail calls every day, right? We know Kanye West is a clout chasing type of person. Like, that's my stage. I'm going up there. Beyonce is the greatest rapper of all time. Like, that's Kanye. Like, he wants the moment. He needs the moment. Diddy is one of the biggest topics, one of the biggest headlines in hip hop history. And I'm not trying to say that Kanye isn't who he is. Like, I guess if he wants to make headlines, that he's just going to walk up to the red carpet. We're going to count to 5. Let's practice this in the crib. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Drop your jacket, Bianca. And then, you know, she got the name. And then boom, headlines for Grammy. You know, he'll figure it out if he wants to be in the headlines. I'm not trying to say that he doesn't have a massive following. He does. That's one thing that pisses me off with his type of voice and what he uses it for. But Like jail calls, like any little word that Diddy just said, every syllable of what he just said is being overly scrutinized right now. Forget the podcast, forget the bloggers, forget me. I'm talking legally. It happened to Little Dirk also, right? Little Dirk had a jail call with one of his homies and they put it out. Everybody was like, yo, that's clout. Like, you just want to show that you're on the phone with Little Dirk or whatever. Oh, you got a Little Dirk exclusive. Oh, you heard from Dirk from the first time since he got arrested. Jail is very sensitive. These people are fighting for their lives. Any little thing that Diddy says, even stuff that you and I might think is harmless, can and would be brought into court, right? So I don't know. Put it this way. If you're really, really in this moment during this conversation, even though you got your phone with Diddy and another phone recording you, and then you're going to put it out publicly, if you're really having this phone call about, hey, let me talk to my brother Diddy, and I love him so much, and this guy ain't got nothing to do with nobody, it's just about me and him and making sure that he's good. If it's really about that, yet you feel that it can help him publicly or even legally to put it out, then actually it even has to run through his lawyers. You got to give it to. I've seen Vlad do shit like that. Even Vlad is legally smart. First of all, he's running a platform where he's been sued before. He's been in multiple lawsuits before. The nature of his business puts him on the front lines where people can have all different types of accusations left and right. I've seen Vlad do that before. He had some interviews that he had to vault or he gave to people's lawyers when they were going through shit just to make sure that their lawyers co-signed it being released. You know that Kanye ain't fucking take that right there and give it to fucking Diddy's lawyers and say, hey, review this, make sure every syllable, word, and sentence doesn't impact you in some way. Okay, I'm going to put it out because I believe it's good for him legally and publicly and show the whole world that he's doing okay. No, it's about Kanye. It's about Kanye. That's my first thing is the sensitivity of jail calls. And right now, the charge, like you can't just be putting shit out on him for the public to grab and play with or for these lawyers to grab and play with. That's number one. And people, please, if you have people in jail, remember that. You think it's just a simple call. There's little things that could be said in there that could be used against them. So that's number one. Number two, the very first slide of that caught my ear because Diddy, he wasn't scolding Kanye, but he's advising Kanye. Mind you, where is Diddy right now? Kanye's a free fucking man. Even though it seemed like he jumped overseas for a couple months when all the indictments started, when the 1-800 number came out and all that type of shit, because that fucking old assistant came out, had some accusations on him or whatever. Even 50 Cent was trolling him for it. Felt like Kanye went and jumped overseas for a second to make sure the coast was clear. But anyway, you're still a free man. You got some suits or whatever that I think you might be dealing with, but you're not facing what Diddy's facing. Yet Diddy is on the phone telling you, hey, man, get back to music. Man. I need you out there, man. You got to calm it down, but keep it positive. Whatever. If you ask me, Diddy has access to all in there. There was already reports that came out that said he's got his feet up on some Young Thug shit, right? He's got his feet up. It's Diddy, his money, his influence, his power. Even the CEOs want to do everything they can for him. CEOs probably in there making money off of him too. You know what I'm saying? Allow me to make my phone calls, move around the way I want, give me my extra food. I want to be in here treated like a king. And the little CEO might get broken off a little $5,000, $2,000 out here and there. Whatever. Did he got it? They got it. The money moves around. That's how shit. Remember, 99% of the shit that gets into these jails comes in either through the visits or the fucking people that work there. Okay, the guards, the CEOs, they bring it in. All right? They bring it in. It's a business within the jails as well. The guards make a little separate side money. Let's say they got they $18 an hour normal salaries for being a CEO, right? On the side, they getting their hustles going too. Just like this is Earth, people. Everybody will find their little areas to bend the rules, bend the system, bend the laws, and get their hustle up on and get their money up. Get their money up. That's how it goes. All right. He could be a nigga and treated like a fucking king, like a king. Yet he's telling Kanye, like, in so many words, I don't need you in here with me. I need you out there where you could be more productive for yourself and for me and for us. So, being that he has access to all, he knows everything that's going on. He's on his Wi-Fi and he's probably got a phone, a cell phone, and all types of shit. He knows what Kanye is out here doing. That's the way I interpret that whole. He knows Kanye. You kicking up dust, man. Hey, man, calm down. I need you out there. I need you to get back to music. Diddy's in fucking jail right now, telling Kanye to calm down. That's y'all king, Kanye. I'll never forget this. The nigga in jail facing charges that can remove the rest of his life from being outside is telling Kanye West to calm the fuck down and get back to music. I'm done with that piece of shit. For today, I'm done for today. All right, let's keep it legal. Like I said, felt like it would all just flow together. Why not? I've seen these reports come out for my sports fans and my boxing fans. Devin Haney and Garcia. I saw this report come out yesterday. This says this came from Boxing Enthusiasts at Boxing ENTH. Devin Haney has lost his civil case against Ryan Garcia after attending court today to officially file his 12-page lawsuit for battery and bodily harm. Judge Henry Simpson stated, "You are a combat sports athlete. Bodily harm simply cannot be avoided." Via at TMZ Sports. Now, when I saw that, I said, wow. And I wanted to go find the paperwork, right? Now, before I found anything that's paperwork related or court documentation related, let's go to this. I went to the original articles of when it was filed, okay? And just to make sure that everybody's on the same page, Devin Haney sues Ryan Garcia for battery and fraud over their April fight. This was published September 27, 2024. So towards the end of last year is when this suit began, okay? All right. Devin Haney's clearly still not over how his super fight with Ryan Garcia went down earlier this year, as TMZ Sports has confirmed he's now suing the star boxer over it all. The 25-year-old pugilist filed the lawsuit against his nemesis in New York on Friday, alleging Garcia committed battery and fraud in their lead up to and during their big April 20 title or tilt at Barclays Center. Yeah, we remember some of the posts and how that really went. I thought Devin Haney was actually going to win this fight. I had him winning going in. Garcia definitely proved me wrong. I ain't going to lie. He looked good in this fight. You'll recall Garcia won the fight after knocking down Haney multiple times, but the outcome was later ruled a no contest after officials said Garcia had Osterin, whatever that is, Osterin in his system. I assume it's a PED, performance enhancement drug, right? PEDs. Haney said if he had known Garcia had ingested the performance-enhancing drug prior to stepping into the ring, he wouldn't have agreed to the fight. Therefore, he says he never consented to being on the wrong end of Garcia's punches. So he's saying he never consented because he wasn't aware of the terms, being that the alleged PEDs was present. Okay, I understand the claim. This is how some of this shit looked, y'all. Damn.
It's just not happening as frequently as it needs to happen. Oh, and he's got it right again, and down for a second time.
Come on, Haney. Oh.
Haney still is in control.
I ain't gonna lie, man. The fight did. The fight surprised a lot of people. Well, I shouldn't say the turnout. I think people expected it to be a little bit more evenly matched. Worst case scenario. Best case scenario, you get a war, but it looked so one-sided. It just really shocked people's expectations. So when you have that type of shock and then you hear allegations of PEDs coming after that, that's when it gets legs, right? It's like, whoa. So that's why it looks so one-sided. Okay, cool. So Garcia did his thing. We could say, come on, man. No, skill-wise, reaction-wise, timing-wise, training-wise, prep-wise, that no, Garcia earned his win. And when you talk about steroid use, right? Steroids is something that it has a misconception around it. Now, I'm not in the midst of trying to justify if Ryan Garcia used anything or not. Give me a second. We still got, some court updates to get into. The misconception with steroids is like you take a needle, you fucking poke it into your arm or some shit, and boom, you look like the Hulk or some shit. That's a misconception. That's not true. Some of the biggest benefits of steroids doesn't I didn't use steroids, people. You look at my pictures throughout time. I never got to that level, okay? But I've learned a lot of this shit over the years. I bought muscle magazines, you read about this shit. I read up on some of the biggest bodybuilders of all time, when you got the Dorian Yates, the Arnold Schwarzeneggers, the who else? The Jay Cutlers, the Phil Heaths, the Ronnie Colemans, who some people consider the king. I know these names because I used to follow and read a lot of training magazines when I was, you couldn't keep me out of the gym. You still can't, but anyway, steroids is something that, it enhances your recovery, which allows these professional bodybuilders that do it for a living to train the same muscle group, back to back to back to back to back. Because the name of the game is break it down and then allow it to heal and come back stronger. A muscle, right? You don't grow inside the gym, you grow outside the gym. Inside the gym, you stimulate the muscles, you break them down. So these micro tears that happen in your muscles and whatnot, and then they come back. Your body is smart. It comes back strong and bigger. Like whatever I just went through, you think it's just some gym routine or whatever. The body's like, I'm getting fucked up. I don't know what it is. I'm going to break down, build back, and come back stronger, provided you also give me the right amount of nutrients and supplement or whatever to reconstruct the muscles and come back stronger, which is why when people lift heavy and they train frequently, they got to up their ingestion of protein. Okay. I hope I don't sound like a dietitian and a fucking personal trainer. I'm not. But it just comes from experience of working out for fucking 50 years. I've been, okay. So even when you have steroids and you see these Mr. Olympias, right, take the stage and they look like the Hulk, that doesn't come from just putting the needle in your shoulder, okay? These people are still genetically inclined. They still are genetic freaks. They still are born 1 in a million. Their genetics, okay? Then on top of that, the amount of training and the food regimen that you have to have has to super complement it. Steroids gives you benefits to bring it all together, yes, but I say all that to say, you know, I'm such a fair guy in my assessment, so I try to be, that Ryan Garcia didn't only win that fight if he had PEDs. He also would have won it because his dedication, his training, his strength, which some people are going to say could have been enhanced by PEDs, his skills, his technique. I don't care how much steroids or PEDs you inject or use, right? You get caught on the chin the wrong way, you're out of here. So he even had to avoid Devin Haney's attacks, right? That's all part of it. Like nobody puts steroids in how their chin getting shocked through their spinal cord will black you the fuck out. That's like the scientific reason why people get knocked out. The shock of that jaw shifting and going back through your nervous system and shit. There's no way that you can inject steroids for that. So I'm trying to be fair. Doesn't mean that if he took PEDs, that it's still to be considered a flatline fair fight. Okay, to be fair. But I followed up with that and I said, well, let me take a look at the court case or see if I could find some documentation, because if a judge told Haney, hey man, you're in a combat sport, get the fuck on. I was like, what? I was like, damn, like that's a judgment you could get. Like, I'm suing you because I didn't sign up for this. I didn't sign up for you to have PEDs and me to fight you when you're enhanced and I'm normal. I didn't sign up for that. And the judge says, hey, well, I'm throwing this out because it's a combat sport. I was just like, no. I got to see more about that. Hell no. These days, I'm just really enjoying learning legalities. So I looked up some case shit. And what I found in the Haney versus Garcia, as y'all see here, Monday, March 17th, 2025. That was yesterday. This is the most recent status report. Status report order based upon the parties' agreement and plaintiff status report, letter 40. By April 17, 2025, the parties shall file their third status report letter as their mediation and settlement discussions. they are still moving towards mediation and or settlement. This case is not over. Okay. That is the most recent update as of yesterday. So then what I did, and I'm telling y'all this because it's good for us all to know, because each one teach one. Shit, y'all will fuck around and learn shit like I had to learn this morning, trying to figure some of this stuff out. Y'all will do that. And then even the stuff that y'all send me will be even sharper because I can't find everything. Some of y'all hook me up with information all the time, B. So when we go back to this, I could have spared myself if I would have just scrolled down a little bit. No, not here, actually, on the Twitter. Let me go to the Twitter, because then it said that it was reported by TMZ Sports, which is a incredible platform, right? Don't TMZ Sports have this guy right here? You see this Twitter, this ad? Yeah, it has a gold check. It's got a gold check. So they should be reporting things well. And then when I went there, the first thing under the fucking post says, this is false. ESPN reported on January 15th that Haney and Garcia jointly asked the court to pause proceedings for 90 days because of a tentative settlement. That happens when the court process and the court procedures are in flight, moving you along towards trial. They have dates, they have stipulations. You need to file this, you need to file that. Your response, give me this, give me that. And then they both parties, the plaintiff and the defense, they come to court one day and they say, hey, clerk, or hey, judge, or hey, court, do me a favor, pause this for 90 days because we're both in an agreement now to not continue to move through this process towards trial where we're going to find a winner or a loser, possibly in front of a jury, or we're going to be on stands and all that type of stuff. We're actually having a conversation behind the scenes to settle this. How can we depart from this and go our separate ways? Okay. So that's the update. So even TMZ Sports got to be careful. Even TMZ Sports got to be careful, man. We've stumbled across a major update this morning, and then we realized that it was fake news. And I said, oh, shit. Be careful, man. I can't feed the Sorry True podcast fake news. It'll happen. But this is the type of stuff I'd like myself to do and the chat to do as well, because y'all are so active with me. Make sure that we on top of things as credible as possible. We're not here. I'm not here to just take a big headline. Yo, you heard that Drake got shot last night? That's lame. I'm cool. I'm not here for the clicks. I'm cool. You know what I'm saying? We want to be organically successful. We want to build this podcast from delivering good topics, having good discussion, having good content, having good news updates, all of the above. Okay. So yeah, we kept it pretty legally based today. Like I promised y'all another members only exclusive, probably this afternoon. Hopefully before 6 p.m. Eastern time. I'll probably get that for y'all. Okay. So stay tuned. And I've seen a lot of recent comments. People, yo, why did he end the stream so abruptly? I don't be ending it abruptly. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not the guy whose mother is going to walk into the fucking room and say, what are you doing? Oh, mom, I'm podcasting. I live like a king. I do what I want when I want. It would be 5 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning. You can hear me in my gym blasting music, you know what I'm saying, at the highest octave, trying to shake the whole neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? If I end the stream abruptly, it's because I just feel like it fits. Kind of like this.
Don't confuse silence with work ethic. I'm a boss making decisions, my first fetish. The verse cherished is perfect, that's a reverse blemish. I dropped it, connected the block, learn Tetris.
This is the Sorry True podcast. Welcome to the house of. And shout out to the members.
Without my thing, still got a gun.